the table. I'm asking you. Oh, okay.
Hello guys, I'm going to be reacting to Ethan Windom. Alright, this guy is going off crazy due to this crime that he's allegedly committed. So let's have a look and let's see what we can learn from this clip.
And, no, forget that.
In a few seconds, you're going to witness some of the most shocking interrogation footage that we've ever received.
I think you're hurting pretty bad. You ain't nothing. You telling me you understand, we make mistakes, no. Here, let me spell it out for you. Relax it. No, forget that. I did do it. You know what? Don't you know we're all put on this earth? Yes.
The incomprehensible story behind it will prove to be all the more horrifying.
I know how to use a knife. Real well. Real well. Right here. Right here. Right here. Yeah, mambo, mambo Italia. Yeah, mambo. Next to me in the wrestling bar, George Washington. At least for that Raider shirt.
On January 24th, 2007, the quiet confines of Boise, Idaho would be changed forever when 42-year-old mother Judith Windom is found gruesomely murdered in her own home. Her 16-year-old son, Ethan Windom, would ultimately be the one to stumble across the horrifying scene. And so begins one of the most disturbing investigations we've ever seen. However, as authorities sit down with the distraught teenager, they can't help but wonder if his terrifying story is just a ruse, hiding something much more sinister. In the early morning hours of January 25th, 2007, Craig Windom is frantically woken by his wife. She tells him that his son, Ethan Windom, has arrived at their house in hysterics. Ethan lives with his mother, Craig's ex-wife, Judith Windom, also known as Judy. Ethan had left his home that morning, setting off to his father's house on foot in the freezing winter temperatures, all for one terrifying reason. Craig quickly gets out of bed and runs to meet Ethan in the living room, where his son can barely speak. But when he finally does, he utters a disturbing set of words. His mom, Judy, is dead. Craig immediately calls police, who were dispatched to Judy's address, as well as to his own home. However, not a single person could have anticipated the absolute nightmare that was just beginning to unfold.
Hi, Ethan. Dr. Stevens. Were you at your mom's house tonight? Were you sleeping?
I was on my couch.
On your couch?
On my chair.
Okay.
I sometimes fall asleep watching the movies.
Okay, I understand. And where was your mom at when you were sleeping or you were hanging out?
In her room.
She's in her room? Yeah. When was the last time you saw her? What time?
9 o'clock, I believe. I came home from my friend Matt.
Okay, and that's when 9 o'clock tonight?
Yeah.
And that's when you saw your mom?
And I saw her and she was in her bed.
Okay, was she fine and awake? When you talked to her?
Yeah,
and she was in her bed?
Yeah, she was okay.
You just try to take it easy, and we're going to get paramedics over there, and we're going to get police over there and see if she's okay.
If you stay calm and breathe good, you should be okay.
Ethan seems to struggle to comprehend the unbelievable sight that he's just witnessed, but authorities are eager to speak with the 16-year-old, and he has quite the story to tell. They quickly take him in for questioning while another set of officers make their way to Judy's home on Normandy Drive. What they discover is disturbing beyond belief.
There's blood everywhere, guys. It's right over. It's going to be a head.
There's dry blood on the floor of the bedroom.
He got shot. Yep. Somebody did. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. There's a knife in the head.
There's pictures of a couple of kids on the kitchen cabinets, and there's a bunch of cards for St. Luke's medical clinic. Like, all these kids are freaking whacked out on some kind of medication. Yeah, these are the boys right there. That one right there, that's your suspect. The bigger one.
It's something straight out of a horror movie. 42-year-old Judy has been murdered in her own bed. Authorities later reported that her face was disfigured beyond recognition, and it appeared that someone used a shotgun in the incomprehensible crime. However, police will soon discover that the deranged killer used more than just one weapon. The following interrogation has never been seen before. It's been analyzed by a qualified team, including a licensed professional counselor, a licensed clinical psychologist, and a former detective, former licensed polygraph examiner, and former hostage negotiation commander and instructor. The detectives now sit across from 16-year-old Ethan, and they read him his Miranda rights. In the state of Idaho, police are generally free to interrogate minors without any limitations, beyond constitutional provisions that would equally apply to adults in a similar situation. The minor doesn't have to have someone present to represent their interests prior to questioning, until and unless the minor specifically makes a request for counsel, or the presence of a parent or guardian. In that case, an interrogation would have to stop upon the request. The detectives ask Ethan if he would like his father to be present during the interrogation, but Ethan states that he would like to continue without his father in the room.
Okay, can you kind of tell me what happened tonight?
I was sleeping in the chair in the living room. You know, lights are off and everything. I got woken up to this kind of, that really loud, just thud kind of noise. And, I have no idea what that is,
The detectives jump right into questioning Ethan without spending any time building rapport. This can be very detrimental, as rapport building is not just about getting the other person to talk, but also to build a foundation of a relationship, which can then minimize the person's anxiety and get them to relax, open up more, or even to trust the interrogator.
I saw my mother earlier, around 9 o'clock, being fine, right before I started watching a movie. And I watched the movie and, fell asleep, but in the chair. But then I saw that, it was all the lights were off in the house anyway. But, just kind of got a glimpse that something was going on, and,
What's going on?
the guy was whacking her and stabbing her.
It's noteworthy that Ethan not only says the guy was whacking her and stabbing her, but that he also motioned the actions. These movements were remarkably in sync for him allegedly just seeing the actions.
We've been to the house, okay, so we kind of have an understanding of what happened. And like I told you before, we kind of know a little bit about everything that went on tonight before we even came in to talk to you. You understand that, Ethan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ethan's fast and repeated head nodding here is likely an indication of anxiety. However, he may be reeling from his traumatic experience of finding his mother dead.
I know quite a bit about you and your mother and your relationship. Yeah. So what I'd like to do, Ethan, is kind of rewind a little bit to the beginning, to tonight. All right, when you're at home with your mom, and kind of have you start over, because I think what's happening is you're kind of going down the wrong path. Okay.
It's no secret that Ethan and his mother had a tumultuous relationship, to say the least, but authorities have only scratched the surface of the horrifying nightmare that was hidden behind closed doors.
Did you go to school today?
I did.
On Wednesday?
I did, but I had to go home early because I was having these weird spasms all over my body,
Even though he's answering the questions, Ethan is still pretty closed off, with his arms tightly crossed. Though we can't totally see his legs, it looks like they're also crossed and aimed away from the investigator, indicating that Ethan has his guard up and isn't super engaged with the investigator. The investigator should have engaged in rapport building before he started questioning him, because it may have prevented him from being quite so closed off.
I didn't really want to go around the full day, taking a weird step and, kind of just having a weird spasm in my legs. So And I called him my dad and had him drive home.
What happened after that, Ethan?
After that,
After you woke up sleeping from this afternoon,
you know,
when did your mom come home?
I don't know, mainly around 3 or so. And just sitting there in the chair, just kind of watching some movies.
What kind of movies were you watching?
One I just over and over again.
Like what?
Happy Accidents.
Happy what?
Accidents.
Happy Accidents?
You ever seen that?
No. So you and your mom were watching these together?
No. She wasn't, you know.
Ethan goes into a long tangent, setting up his timeline. He shakes his head no when saying the time his mom came home, as well as that he was watching some movies, indicating a slight brain and body disconnect.
I don't know, mainly around 3 or so, watching some movies.
Notably, he thinks about it, and then names a movie he said he's seen over and over, which is an easy way to keep his story straight if he's lying.
Sometimes she'd come, you know, and actually do watch some movie.
I'm gonna be bringing you part 2, but it's just fascinating how his body language tells a lot. Psychology is a fascinating thing, and this young man, you know, allegedly did that to his mother. It just shows you the kind of depraved society that we do live in. You really need to pray, watch your kids, and watch their upbringing is so important. I'm gonna let you watch a little bit more of this clip, and I'm gonna try and bring in part 2 because it's quite a long interrogation, and then they come to the conclusion, and I'll give you my 2 cents in the next video. Okay, let's watch a little bit more.
Did you take a nap yesterday, being Wednesday, after school? Okay.
Ethan had a rather interesting taste in film, but there would be one movie in particular that he favored above the rest. Authorities will soon learn exactly which movie that is, and Ethan's terrifying reasons as to why he loved it so much.
Then what happened?
A little later, I worked out with my friend. He lives across the street. And I usually work out in my house because I got a local gym set up in my house. But, you know, I just decided to work out with him because he said he wanted to work out. And, you know.
Anyway, watch out for part 2. Please like, share, and subscribe for more. The psychology of human beings never seems to amaze me, man. But I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe, keep healthy. One love.